AEW Redemption is this weekend, and we had a very fun and interesting go-home show. I have a huge prediction on Redemption. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thanks for joining me on this Thursday drop. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter video. I've got unpacking to do, and I'm still waiting for things to get here for the permanent setup. So again, here with the temporary setup. But let's get right into the big prediction that I have for Redemption with what happened on Dynamite last night. Here was the card again. You saw Ospreay, Mox, and Omega beat the Don Callis family. You saw Kevin Knight have a record 10th defense against Darby Allin. That was a really, really good match. We saw Divine Dominion win against Sisters of Sin in a brutal match. I really, really want to see Sky Blue with some gold, AEW gold, around her waist. I think she really deserves it. She's been busting her ass off, much like her partner Kyle Fletcher, who has gold. I think the Sisters of Sin deserve gold at some point. It's just not their time yet. I remember a while ago on my channel, I predicted long-term Brawling Birds are going to take the belts off of Divine Dominion, and then maybe we see Sisters of Sin be the heel team to take it off of the Brawling Birds. Maybe sometime this winter at like Full Gear, perhaps. Tekla and Willow went face-to-face in a really, really good promo. It was actually my favorite promo of the night. Clark Connors, Jay White, goddamn, it was great to see Jay White in a singles match. Finally, for what felt like an eternity, really. He comes out on top on Clark Connors. The two big takeaways, was the Maverick moment that I have, which was with Kevin Knight interfering at the very end, one-upping Kenny Omega with this moment here.
Good night, bang.
Makes the leap. No! Kevin Knight! Over the top, he caught Omega!
That's a really cool moment. Kevin Knight, that angle doesn't do it justice. He leapt a solid Michael Jordan-esque leap of like 10 feet to clear that rope from the ramp. And then not only that, but nail Kenny Omega across the face with the TNT Championship, opened up Kenny Omega, and then you saw Jet 2 belts, Fly 2 belts, hold up both the TNT belt and the AEW Championship. Months ago on my channel, I knew that Kevin Knight was just going to skyrocket to the top. And look at where we are, maybe 6 months to a year later after I made that prediction. And the dude has got the record for TNT title defenses and is challenging Kenny Omega for the strap. I don't think he's going to come out on top because it wouldn't make sense to make it Kevin Knight versus Ospreay at All In. But I know and I trust Tony Khan and AEW that they are going to showcase him really, really well in the main event of Redemption. But the other big takeaway, and may I add probably the biggest takeaway, is Willow and Tekla. Tekla, once again, was basically shitting on the entire women's roster, and we already saw what she did with Stardom, and then with this promo against Willow, really, really well done back and forth, actually. And then we saw an interesting piece, and that interesting thing was Kairi Sane on socials, a post of her in a motorcycle basically saying, let's see how far I can go. I'm gonna stand on record right now. I think she debuts at Redemption. I think that it's all but certain that the New Day will debut at Wembley for All In, but I think this is where you debut Kairi Sane. Tekla is going to retain against Willow. It's going to be a close match, but I think Tekla keeps that strap, keeps the belt until she ultimately loses, I feel like, at All In, and let it be Kairi Sane. She will show up and defend Stardom. I think that is a brilliant thing to do. So that is the big takeaway number one, is that Kairi Sane, my prediction, she debuts at Redemption. And then the Don Callis family, they're falling apart. Shout out to Zero Cool Life. He sent me this hilarious photo of, Okada makes all these comical faces. He's stupendous in the ring, but he's also a great comedy act on the side of that. And it seems like the constant here is Okada. First, it was Takeshita and Okada going at it, and then the family picked Okada over Takeshita. Now we see issues with Kyle Fletcher and Okada costing him in the main event this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Are we going to see more internal frustrations with the Don Callis family? We already saw Andrade drop out. Takesha's out. I have a prediction here. Now, this is just a prediction. I have no proof on this. This is what I would do for booking. I would say long-term, Kyle Fletcher gets pushed out eventually too. He's the next one that gets cut from the family. And then you see for Blood and Guts going into the future, you got ex-Don Callis family guys versus the current Don Callis family. You would have Kenny Omega, because he's probably going to drop the belt to Ospreay at Wembley, so you got to get him involved in some good feud, and I think this is what you do with them. Kenny Omega, Andrade, and then reuniting Proto Shida with Kyle Fletcher and Takesha. I think they'll make amends. I think Fletcher will apologize to him because I think they are just a baby face in the making of a tag team, those two. You have those four go against the strongest four of the Don Callis family. You would have Okada, Kevin Knight, Mark Davis, and Jake Doyle. Those 4-on-4. You'd have a nice 4-on-4 match at Blood and Guts, or you can add some partners. Maybe the Young Bucks join, and then it's 6-on-6, and you have two more of the Don Callis family guys go at it in that match. And I think ultimately you got to have this faction end. All good things come to an end. The Inner Circle did eventually. And I just, the Don Callis family has been around for so long, and I feel like the DCF is just kind of washed out almost, not entirely. Don Callis, he is very entertaining, but these internal frustrations, I think, are going to just cause the family to eventually all break apart and go on in their own ways. And I think that's where you could do it. You can have the ex-Don Callis family guys win against the current Don Callis family guys, and then maybe they all turn on Don Callis. I don't know. That's just an idea off the top of my head. Let me know down below what you think on that, and also what you think on my prediction about Kairi Sane showing up at Redemption. And speaking of Redemption, on Dynamite, we had 2 more matches added to an already fucking stacked show. A double chain match, which is, I think, a first, an AEW first, a double chain match. The Bang Bang Gang versus the Dogs. Prediction here, I think Gabe Kidd, if his visa is cleared anyway, could return. Does that get them the win? I don't know. Maybe the Dogs win here, and then this feud continues to Wembley, and then you see the Bang Bang Gang win on the big stage. Then you have this fun ladder match, a 6-way ladder match that was added. You got Commander, Jack Perry, Speedball, and the Beast Mortos already included. And then on Collision upcoming, you got 2 qualifying matches. I believe one of them is El Clone and Leo Rush. I forget what the other one is off the top of my head. I have El Clone winning that first one. Leo Rush doesn't need to be in it. He just won an ROH title. But I'm fine with either of those guys really being in it. Ultimately, I think Jack Perry's going to win this. That's going to be my prediction on that. And here's the updated card. So I'm going to quickly give you guys my predictions here. Again, I already said Tekla is going to retain. Omega is going to retain. I think Kyle Fletcher might retain, but again, Okada could cost him, and then that could further that feud there. So that's a toss-up there. I got Jack Perry winning that ladder match, like I said. I got Ospreay and Moxley beating the Bucks, and Ospreay maybe hinting at turning heel a little bit more. He's going to get a little ruthless in here. And you know what? I'm going to go with the Dogs, the heel team, to beat the Bang Bang Gang here because of returning Gabe Kidd. I got Shida beating Maya World. I've got Edge and Christian, Cage and Cope retaining, but they are going to drop those titles sooner than later, so enjoy it while it lasts. And then I've got Andrade beating Mark Davis for the national championship. You got to put a fucking strap on Andrade. He is becoming one of the biggest baby faces in AEW. And you might ask me, hey Maverick, how you know? Well, I know because he is getting the crowd reaction. He's great in the ring. He's getting fun promos on his yacht and shit like that. It is stupendous. And I want Andrade to leave Redemption as the national champion. Fun thing announced for All in London, a welcome to Wembley fan experience on Friday and Saturday leading up to the show. 5 time slots to choose from at the Great Hall in Wembley Stadium. This is brilliant. And to counter that, the reason why that is so brilliant for the fans is because there's some WWE news here on their new Club WWE that's going to charge you $99 a year. I like how they word it. That's just $825 per month. It's still getting more money out of your pocket for stuff that they could easily just give to you on socials for free. AEW gives us a lot of free stuff on socials. Free backstage promos that didn't happen on the show. Exclusive after the show clips that go up on YouTube all the time. There's one with Omega if you haven't seen it from Dynamite this past Wednesday. They give you all kinds of stuff for a fraction of the price, and this is just more greed by TKO. And that's all I really had to say about WWE in this video. Lastly, MLP Mayhem was late last night. Go and watch it today if you haven't watched it. I really enjoyed it. It truly feels like old Black and Gold NXT days with the crowd engagement, the smaller arena, the venue rather. The roster is pretty solid so far. And then you got Ronaldo, one of the best commentators today on commentary. He's stupendous. He's phenomenal. Johnny TV and TJP. Solid match. First Faction versus Mascara Dorada and Captain Suicida. That was a great match. Danny Luna and Vanna Black, I forget how it's pronounced. 3 solid matches for you, compacted into 1 hour. Yeah, there's some promos that happened as well. Check that out if you haven't already. And now on to my DDT segment of this video. I have one for you guys again today. I'll probably include a couple on my next video, but this one is just funny because of the relevance. King Troll at Nobody6025. Name is fitting. He's totally trolling here, I'm sure. He goes to say it's not even close. Hashtag SummerSlam, and he's saying that SummerSlam is going to be better than Redemption. Well, sorry to spoil your troll here, but we all know that it's not going to be, so this troll is kind of pathetic. The problem is, if you find this post on Twitter, on X, there are a lot of people that view this and are in the comments saying, yes, I agree. Like, yeah, let me know down below what you think is going to happen. I'm sure all of you are going to say that Redemption is going to be better. I mean, they have twice as many matches announced, I believe, at the time of this recording, and it's only 1 night versus 2, and we see that Redemption is still outselling SummerSlam tickets. That's all I had on this video on Screw the Script. Let me know again down below your thoughts on Dynamite this last Wednesday. What match are you looking forward to the most on Redemption? At Redemption, give me your predictions on the card, and how do you feel about my predictions with Kairi Sane debuting and the long-term prediction with the Don Callis family. As always, this has been Maverick Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.